So Return to Neverland was a financial success at the box office and got mixed reviews. The Jungle Book 2 is actually one of the Disney sequels that was released in theaters and was a financial success, but did poorly in the reviews. Like 16% on Rotten Tomatoes, was if I remember correctly, and 36 or 77% of the audience enjoyed it. And I'm really gonna be honest, I don't get it. I don't get what's the hate about this movie. Sure, it's not as good as the first film, but it came close, I will admit, because there are some things I love more than the first. But we'll get to that when we get to that, so... excuse me, post-nasal drip. The story is about Mowgli, played by Haley Joel Osment, which is actually his last Disney sequel to star in. So, he's in the Man Village, and he's telling the story of his life in the jungle from the first film. So, he tells it to his family, and like his mom and dad, his little brother named Rajan, and his new best friend / probably girlfriend named Shanti, voiced by Mae Whitman, who you may recognize her as Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender, Tinkerbell, which we'll get into that, but not this month, but whenever I do get a chance. But and also, did the voice of what was it? Well, she was the lesbian character in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and Agent Zero / Lacey Shadows from the Modifiers. You know, that pilot cartoon from Nickelodeon that they rejected for being on the air. Yeah, that cartoon. On which I don't know why that ever got a chance to be a show. So maybe Disney can do something about it, because everyone wants it. But I'm getting off track here. So, so the next day, he and Rajan pull a prank on Shanti, and then they sing then a little bit later, they sing a song, and Mowgli gets into trouble because he tries to bring the kids to the jungle, but his father, voiced by John Rhys Davies, punishes him by sending him off to his room, sending him off to his room without dinner, giving him plenty of time to think about what he's done. Then that's basically the line from the movie. Mowgli thinks he doesn't belong in the Man Village, so we basically cut down to where Baloo and Bagheera are. Baloo, voiced this time by John Goodman, basically misses Mowgli, like how Mowgli misses Baloo. So Baloo tries to go to the Man Village, and Bagheera tries to chase him off. But then, we all know that Shere Khan, voiced this time by Tony Jay, aka Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and on this character, we got to have money. Yeah, that guy from the Tom and Jerry movie. The crappy Tom and Jerry movie. So he wants revenge from Mowgli in the first film for putting a stick of fire on his tail and burning his ass off. So, so Baloo tries to go to the Man Village, but Bagheera keeps on setting up some things for him to not be at the village. So he sets up Colonel Hotsy, voiced this time by Jim Cummings, wants to stop him. So Baloo basically, he was able to get down to the Man Village alive, and stuff. He finds Mowgli, and then they set out to the jungle, and now everyone's trying to look for him, which includes Shere Khan, Shanti and Rajan, and the villagers from the Man Village. So, will Mowgli be able to figure out where he belongs or where he doesn't belong? Well, you probably obviously know the answer. So, I did really enjoy the first film, obviously, and I love the first movie, and I friggin' love the live-action movie from director Jon Favreau. I mean, wow, was that movie so good. I just don't know what's the problem with it. I fell in love with the remake. But this film, I really enjoyed this film, honestly. Yeah, there are some things I like better than the first film. Like, for example, the animation is just as good. It doesn't feel like a friggin' downgrade. The voice acting is wonderful. I like Mowgli's voice much better in this film than he was in the original. John Goodman does a great job as Baloo. Tony James is excellent as Shere Khan. Jim Cummings is great as Kaa, Colonel Hottie, and King Louie's little assistant that you saw in the first film, where they were sitting I Want to Be Like You. Surprisingly, King Louie wasn't in this movie. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this movie. King Louie's not in this movie since after the first film. So, I do like the characters still. They're all very likable. like, I like the character of Ranjin. I love Shanti. And the original characters. I like the other new character that we got introduced named Lucky the Vulture, voiced by Phil Collins. Actually, that's really cool. Oh, and I'm really gonna be honest. I thought Phil Collins was funny in this movie. Oh, I don't know. Oh, something about his delivery kind of makes me laugh. It's not one of the funniest things ever, but it does get a giggle out of me, honestly. So, those songs are pretty good. I love the first song on Jungle Rhythm. It's actually pretty damn catchy. They sing Bare Necessities 3 times in this movie, which actually is one of the problems with this movie. And none of the other ones are fine. On like, what do you call it? The Wild Song. I like that one a lot. So the problems I have with this movie are pretty nitpicky. The biggest issue is probably the story itself. It's not that it's bad. It does seem like it's continuing the story, but it kind of feels like it's rehashing some plot elements from the first film into this movie. And my other nitpick with this movie is probably Baloo. While John Goodman does a great job as the character, I just felt like he maybe just played it like a little too old school. It's particularly his dialogue. It was a little too old school, like a little cool and hip, which it doesn't really make. That wasn't really like what happened with the character in the first film. He was more like the father kind of character. Like he loved Mowgli like his own son. He does here in this movie, but it was actually done a little bit better in the last film. So honestly, those are very small gripes. I honestly kind of love this movie. I don't think it's fantastic by any means, but I'd be lying if I said I really enjoyed the hell out of it. It's one of those rewatchable Disney sequels I could watch. If you want to see that's something on par with the first film, there are some things that are better, but if not, then... But it's still worth a watch. But if you're not interested, then whatever. Then give it a pass. I just don't know how people could actually hate on this movie. I mean, I can't help it. I just have a soft spot for it. But if you have seen it, what did you think? Just comment below, click like in the video, follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Stardust. Don't forget to subscribe, please. And share the video as well. I'm the Bostonian Critic, and I'm signing out. Well, and I'll see you in the next video, I mean.